So George talked about the moneymaker right here. This is the 3-strand, only 3-strand line, but this is also the top-selling 3-strand in the world. And this rope come out in the late 80s. Tell me about it.
Yeah, this was the original 3-strand, I think, that kind of set the standard for ropes back in the day. You know, it's got a heavy feel, but a very balanced feel. It's more traditional rope. It's got 3 strands, so the crowns are a little rougher. So, you know, if you like a little more bite in your horn, it's a great rope for that. And just hits good. It's got a good balance, just heavy-bodied rope. You know, medium speed, and just like a traditional feel. This might be the rope for you.
Yeah. Whenever I swing this rope, I can really feel the crowns, like we talked about, that 3-strand feel. And then it's going to feel a little bit bigger in a guy's hand, I feel like.
Yep.
And then you're really going to have that weighted tip. So, you know, if it's windy or you like a bigger rope, kind of that deader feel that you can really feel your tip and want something that's just going to really sit there when you put it there. For all you 3-strand rovers, this is it. So right here we got the XR4. And George, arguable to say this rope probably changed ropes for eternity, in my opinion.
For sure.
Yeah, so this come out in the 90s, and this is the first ever 4-strand with a core. We have the full and we have a light. So as ropers back in the day, you're using what, 3/8 true most of the time?
3/8 true and their 3/8 full. It was all the ropes were pretty big back then.
Yep. And so we got the full here. It's a little bit bigger round. This is 100% nylon with the core, and this rope's going to feel very big. It's going to feel dead. You dang sure can feel the whole rope 100%. You know, if it's windy or whatever. And then you guys also make it in a light to where it's just a little smaller round, a little bit more pliable, a little bit more easy, forgiving.
Yep. Yeah, the light came, obviously we'll talk about this more through the series, but you know, as things got smaller, the ropes got a little smaller, and this was a smaller version of the true. Still a very balanced, nice rope, good tip feel, has a heavy feel, but not obviously as heavy as that, but they're both on the bigger side of the line of our ropes, but just a nice controlled feel, and like I said, the original of the 4 strands that we came out with.
Hey guys, we're here with America's favorite right here. This is a power line. This is the #1 selling rope in the world. This rope is a nylon poly blend. It's a 4-strand. It's the second one that they made, and George, I think you guys knocked it out of the park with this one.
Yeah, this rope is our pretty much our favorite for all of our endorsers. If you look at the NFR, American, pretty much 80% of our guys are using power lines, and the reason for that is this rope just has a nice balanced feel of weight and body and tip weight. You know, it's good in all conditions. I feel like all horn sizes. It's just a very good rope that's very consistent and forgiving, and you know, when you throw in the horns, it stays there. You can reach with it, run the hip. It's just, I think it has all the qualities, you know, that a guy's looking for.
I think when I swing this rope, the diameter is a good size. It's easy to swing, but if you want to get them in a soft or medium soft, the body's going to be there. So if guys that are wanting to reach, throw a long ways, this rope stays open, you know, outside, inside, in the wind. This rope can take the conditions that whatever it gives it, and like I said, this rope is amazing. It really doesn't have a place where it doesn't fit, and this is America's favorite. So the later 2000s roll around, George. You guys, roping's changing a little bit. Times are getting faster, cattle are getting a little smaller. Tell us what you did right here with the NV4 to complement that.
Yeah, we decided to make a little polyester rope that we felt a little bit smaller than the power line. You know, obviously the horns are getting small, like you said, cattle getting faster. So just a nice polyester rope that's a little bit lighter, still consistent, has a tip weight with a polyester blend, and just a good feeling rope.
A lot of the same characteristics as the power line, but maybe just not quite as much. You like the power line, you maybe want something just a little bit less, maybe a little bit more forgiving. This rope has a really good feel, and the way it feels in my hand, to me, it really wants to set on the horns, and it's not going to have a whole lot of action. Here we got the GT4 head rope, and to complement the XR4 a little bit, we went a little bit smaller, a little bit tighter spun maybe, but this rope has a great feel. Tell me about it.
Yeah, this rope, this is one of my favorite ropes as far as head ropes go. It's 100% nylon. It's got its own unique nylon blend. And this rope is just really consistent in the summertime and the wintertime. Man, it's got a nice weight. I feel like it has a nice balance of consistency as far as being snappy and not too dead, but not too, you know, just a nice mix. I feel like same thing in rodeo or jackpotting, it's good either way. I really like head roping myself, but the main thing is just they stay really consistent and have a real balanced feel.
Yeah, the characteristic of this rope to me is it's not very often a guy gets nylon rope with this much weight and action all in the same one. Like I feel like I can really feel my tip, even though it is a nylon rope, but it has that, like you said, it has a good weighted feel where it's balanced, but it's still, when you get on the horns, it's gonna have some sting on it.
Yeah.
Here we got the Heat, and this is a great all-around rope. This is probably the second best-selling rope in the whole world. This rope come out in the later 2000s, and just like you said, we're just kind of getting smaller and smaller, but you guys sure knocked it out of the park with this one.
Well, thank you. Yeah, this rope was designed, I mean, all other ropes, you know, designed to have a little more snap to it, a little more body, a little more fast, you know. Some of our ropes are not as much made body as these were, and so we were trying to have something in our line that was really snappy, you know, really zip it in with an aggressive swing, and sometimes, you know, a lot of hair's like that. But it's very durable rope. You can rope a lot of shears with these ropes. They're tough, and
handle the weather good too.
They handle the weather good. You know, like I said, most guys that rope, they rope a lot of shears and they'll stay good. True. So
this has got a lot of the similarities of the other nylon rope, the GT4, but this one to me is just a little bit smaller, and you'll see this rope from the 8 to the open. A lot of guys use this rope, and you know, this rope is for anybody that needs to try it, as long as the stiffness is good, but this rope is good in any situation, and it's gonna have a fast feel, and it sure feels good. So the next one we got in the Rattler line, this is the Radar, and George, this is the smallest one that you guys make, and this is a nylon poly blend. Tell me about this one.
Yeah, we decided we needed something in our line that was, you know, a lot of people starting roping like smaller ropes, you know, kids and women also, and a lot of adults, I mean, guys use this rope also. But it just, the small size makes it easy to handle. The polyester shell gives it a nice tip weight. And so it's just a nice rope, you know, you can handle it easier, stays pretty good, and still got a little bit of weight because it's got the polyester in it.
I think a lot of younger kids and females would love this rope, especially like calf ropers going back and forth because of small diameter, but this rope has a small diameter, but the weighted poly that's in the rope still gives it a significant amount of tip weight for as big a diameter it has.
That's correct.
So this is the last one in the Rattler line that we get to talk about, and it's a fan favorite to me as well. This is the Triton, and this rope, you guys don't make a rope for no reason. Tell me about the characteristics of this rope and what you guys are trying to do.
Well, this rope is made uniquely, I guess, different than anything else we have. We have all, you know, polyband ropes, other ones, but they're not made like this. This one in the raw process in our string room is made completely different, so it gives it a really different feel.
A weighted poly feel with a small diameter.
This rope is fairly small diameter, but like the weight in it is pretty good for how small it is. It has a really good weight, and that's the way it's designed. You know, makes it feel that way, and it's just very true. But like I said, very good tip weight, very good weight, and a small diameter rope, which is a lot of people like that.
You know, Clay Smith, Caleb Driggers. Driggers at the NFR exclusively uses this rope every year, but Clay Smith uses this rope year-round. Why does Driggers use it at the NFR?
Well, Drigger will switch to the NFR because, you know, it's a short setup. So like he wants to get his rope up and get it going pretty quick, and you know, I feel like the power line is just a little bit heavy, that setup. And here you can get it up and get it going really quickly, and it still has enough weight and tip weight on to get it where it needs to go.
Just from being in the arena watching Driggers, like this rope lets him get his rope up, stay above the horns, and then be able to let off and place his rope and never have to push it, and this rope is always waiting on him to shut tight.
Stay ahead of the run.
So here we go, we got the Spider. This is arguably the best feeling rope in the world in my opinion, but this is the first ever 5-strand with a core, and you guys lit them up when you come out with this rope in 09.
Yes, this is one of my favorites too. It has such a nice feel. It's all the 5 strands, the crowns are a little closer together, gives you a nice smooth feel. The beauty of this rope is that you can have a soft rope and it still stays open. It has nice body, like you know, swing it fast, it still has enough body to stay with you, not get behind you. And like I said, the smoother crowns make it feel really good, and it lasts longer because of the smoother crowns. It just has a nice feel.
One thing I've noticed about this rope too is the toughness and the weather conditions in this rope. The heat doesn't really affect this rope, and I know guys, a lot of horse trainers and stuff, the guys will run a couple hundred steers with this rope, and they are, you can't hardly mess them up.
No, they're very tough, very durable, and like I said, they feel great. Got a great smooth feel.
To me, like you said too, for the fastness of the rope and the smoothness of it, the openness and the body of the rope, like you said, it really wants to stay open, and it lets it really stay open until it shuts tight around the horns.
And you know, it's even though it has some body, it like I said, it snaps on the horns, it collapses, it doesn't have like too much where it comes off. It's got a nice feel. This
is arguably probably the fastest rope that you guys have in the line. So right here we got the Zoom, and I know I grew up in the junior looper. I took off this rope a lot on the head dummy over there in Oklahoma City a lot, but This rope is kind of your starter package. It's a 100% nylon, 30 foot long. It's small in diameter, but this is your kids, your starters. This is like a great starting rope.
Yeah, it's designed for that, for the dummy ropings, you know, the 30 foot, because the kids reaching farther and farther. It's just a nice weighted rope, and it's not too heavy, so it's easy to swing for you just starting. It's always going to be an extra soft lay, so it's nice and soft. Like I said, just a good place to start if you want to swing a rope.
But don't be afraid. There's a lot of guys that compete with these too, but this rope is able to withstand the jackpots or whatever type of roping you want to do with it. But from beginner to, you know, just starting to rope a dummy to, you know, you really like the way this rope feels and you got little horns, you want to wave it off, grab a zoom, and you'll have a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
So here we got the ranch rope. Obviously the name speaks for itself, but 100% nylon, 35 foot long, the extra length for whatever kind of situation you need, if you need to slide a little rope or whatever. But tell us about this short rope, George.
Yeah, we just had a lot of calls of people wanting, like basically what it says,
Yeah.
ranch rope, something to do brandings, you know, working bowls, whatever it may be. So just made a rope that's, you know, nice and balanced. It's all 100% nylon. It's 35 foot. It's around an extra soft lay every time, so it's easy to handle. And just a, you know, just good feeling ranch rope.
Yeah, I know. I think a guy can head with this, heel with this, whatever. You're just starting out. 35 foot long, so if you, like you said, need extra for dallying, and this rope's highly visible, and you know, 100% nylon. It's going to last a long time and withstand the endurance you do.